Welcome back to the Away Day Show, guys. Another Monday, another week in the Premier League. A few exciting games towards the back end of the week, but as I was saying, I got a bit off there. The start of the week was a bit poor, I guess what we expected. The start of the week again with what we learned from the weekend. For myself, I think just suspensions are going to be the biggest deal this year. Like we've seen, it was 6 red cards the first week, 3 this week. A lot of silly yellows. We'll get into Trent in a bit, but like the smallest things you get done for yellows for. So I think from this week, we're finding out that you're going to need squad depth. But I think as the United fans, we know that you're going to definitely need squad depth. A lot of yellow cards. Obviously, you guys got done last week with Tommy Asty with that yellow card. Stiff. Playing against Fulham, Bassey got a red card for one time wasting and then one sort of average tackles. That's sort of what I gained from the weekend. Yeah.
To add on that, looking at Tommy Asu's, I don't really understand why Trent's wasn't a red because it was the exact same thing. It was the exact same thing.
It's
so it's either got to be none of them are given or both of them are given.
Yeah.
Like it was.
That's like the inconsistency.
Yeah.
I was talking about last
like
week.
it was actually like a mirror image.
Yeah.
Like he's run a little bit of a pullback.
Time wasting 5 minutes earlier, and then or a couple of seconds earlier, and then like if it was one of those where it feels like if you hadn't been given that yellow in the first 5 minutes of the game,
straight away,
100% is a yellow for
stops the
completely stopping the play and like a blatant foul.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Look, feels a little bit hard done by
100%.
if you're a Newcastle fan as well, because obviously Liverpool ended up getting on top in that game.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, look, I mean, there's a little bit of controversy surrounding Van Dijk's red, so maybe they might feel like it leveled out there. But
100%.
But yeah.
Yeah, the Van Dijk one was a bit tough though. Like, I understand it was probably very controversial, but it is last man.
What do you think?
And he's clipped his legs first.
I get that he gets his legs first.
But it doesn't matter.
No, I think the ball's irrelevant because he snapped it.
I know,
the ball's irrelevant and it's last man.
I think
the
last
man
has to be red.
Yeah, it has to be.
To be honest, I agree. I think it's like a bit of a clear red, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm not too fussed on it, but I've just seen a lot of people talking about it on the webs.
Obviously, he goes through him to get it. It just was so harsh that like he doesn't get the ball, but he ends up kicking the ball.
But it's
that's after
to get to it. I know, but it just feels harsh.
And it's last man, so it's always
no, don't get me wrong. It's a foul, so it has to be.
Do you think it was clear last man?
Yeah, it was last man.
I'm with you.
I know, but
that was the actual one controversial thing.
I'm not convinced it was like if I was going to go with whether it was a foul, I think it's 100% a foul, but whether it's like my interpretation of last man is kind of like one out, like going on goal. There's no
that's not really how it works.
No, I know, but as in historically, I feel like last man, red cards get paid when it's like, it's like one defender and the player on a counter attack, no one else nearby, sort of thing. Whereas this one was like, top left of the box, he's making the run in behind for sure, but there was like he could have squared it, sort of thing. As in like there was...
It wasn't a clear shoot.
Yeah, it wasn't like... Yeah, I mean, look, it's definitely probably still last man, but it wasn't as clear as like once he sent the pass.
I'm not sure really, but under my interpretation, I'd say that's last man.
Yeah.
Because
it's fair. It's for sure fair.
He gets in behind then, he's got the whole goal at his disposal, and he's got... all he really has to keep it to beat. Like, don't get me wrong, if he goes there and takes 5 touches, and I think it was Matip comes across and blocks it, but like he takes a touch and shoots. There's no one getting a block on that, or no one coming anywhere near him.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree that I think it was a red card. I think it was a fair decision.
Looking at something, I'd say like a roundup from my week. More on the funny end, but I'd say Haaland no longer a robot.
100%. That's
his
back-to-back weeks
so
now.
Funny.
Even
God, don't remind me about last week.
Yeah, like last week, and then the reaction of this week as well. Like after missing, he almost like can't believe that his legs have done that. Almost like
even when he scored, did you see when he scored? So
it was kind of like
he just like walked off. Yeah, he's just like walked off.
The fan comes on, just like bear hugs it.
Speaking of just the one last week, really good. I was obviously really annoyed. Phil Foden's assists all getting blazed, but got blessed this weekend with a missed touch from Phil Foden, falls to Rodri, bangs it in.
They give that assist.
It was I was so happy.
That's a massive climb.
How'd you guys go on FPL just quickly?
I need to because I had Rodri and I had...
Yeah, you have Rodri in your FPL team.
I have Rodri, so I got 10 points there.
You're getting blessed.
I got 12 from Diaby, something like that. So I got well with him.
Diaby's a nice pick. He looks so good.
Matoma, Estupiñán, Onana, all those guys. Go Vista,
what Onana getting fancy?
I only ended up getting about
50,
I think, this week.
I think I'm 51 as well. You're closing over the top, I think.
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. I had... Foden, my United players finally returned, so like Bruno got a return. Nicholas Jackson, nice to get a goal. I had a couple of look, there's always chances which go astray, which is annoying. But no, overall, I had a decent week.
Yeah. I'm annoyed I didn't field Ake or Madison. Got 16 more points there.
A lot of people would weighing up like Udogie and Gabriel or Saliba or whatever. Yeah. You'd be fuming if you left him on the bench because
furious.
Everyone knew that was coming. He plays so aggressive. Yeah.
And so high up the pitch.
Yeah, he plays so high, but yeah.
Well, from me, like, I don't know, probably going to have to trade Onana out. I just think we
trading a keeper a bit.
Yeah, but we're not keeping any clean sheets.
I'm not going to use a trade to keep. I'm just going to field Leno instead. Like I just got Leno.
Yeah, I've got Leno as well.
Yeah, see, I've missed 21 points.
Rogue FPL teams. Leno. What did he score in the weekend? Like 12.
5.
And the week before 12.
Yeah. But I thought he conceded so many to Arsenal.
Leno is like such a shot. Yeah, the thing about Leno is that like, if you get the 3 saves, you get the point.
The point, yeah.
Fulham concedes so many shots. And they love, like, I don't know what it is. Everyone loves pot shots against Fulham. So Leno gets all these...
I think there's still this whole Leno...
I don't know if you watched our game. We were just like... Odegaard was on smoke for some reason. Just shooting all these long shots.
You say they like it, but it's obviously the way they defend. They give them a bit more space on the edge of the box. And
clearly they've probably identified, like, historically, let's more chance in this way. But it's like...
He's not a bad
unbelievable
keeper.
For an FPL keeper at the moment. I mean, he racks up the shots against, and they're all these low XG shots. And Jesus, you'd be loving him if you had him as
on the field. We'll jump in to the week. Friday night, obviously, we mentioned it. Chelsea 3, Luton 0. I mentioned it in the preview I did for the weekend, but Sterling looked amazing against West Ham last week, and he just carried on again, like just putting his head down, driving to the box. That first goal, like from the right, cuts literally diagonally across the pitch. Left foot in the corner.
Bit of a farm defending, I thought.
They just stood off.
It was pretty bad.
Bit all good about it.
They stood off, and the only area they let him in was towards the goal. Like, you got to either show him the top of the box or show him the byline, right? You know what I mean?
To me, it was like the type of defending you do to someone who was like predominantly right-footed
and
to be fair, wouldn't go back onto his left.
To be fair, Trent doesn't. Raheem doesn't have the best track record on his left foot, so it's a little bit stiff. But still,
he's still not completely right foot dominant. That's more you
deserves
do to like
some
an
respect.
Anthony.
Yeah, 100%. Needs way more. Yeah, it's like Anthony on the left or something like that, where it's like you're kind of assuming that he's going to go nowhere near it. But no, he did him really good, and it was a great finish.
Gets his double, obviously. But I think for Chelsea as well, what I saw, like fullbacks, like obviously you mentioned last week, but even Gusto, they get so high up. They're basically at the bar line, crossing it into the wingers who are basically false forwards. Obviously Jackson got the goal finally. Yeah. He's so unlucky.
Look, he looks really good though.
Like clinical finisher, right? Poaching efforts.
Well, I don't know if he's... I wouldn't call him a clinical finisher yet, but as in he's getting... Like in terms of his threat, he looks really threatening.
Yeah.
And look, I think if his output can be a little bit better, because you'd be hoping at this stage of the season he might have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But look, that'll come, I think everyone was saying this about Darwin Núñez last year. Obviously, we saw what Darwin did this weekend. I mean, like, talking about clinical, that was really... We'll touch on that.
Yeah.
But if Jackson can get that little bit more of a cutting edge, I think they'll put more teams away.
I think he does have it. I don't know pre-season, but some of the finishes, like first time finishes or one touch and shoot. So
I didn't
it's
watch
there.
But
like
just from the first 3
games. And because Luton is so deep, it's so hard to get like a nice clear shot on goal. The standouts in that game, like Kai Sad looked much better this way. Obviously last week was a bit harsh coming on and copped a lot of slack for the penalty and the turnover.
Stiff.
He looked much better. Gallagher's like back to like that Crystal Palace sort of season where he's like playing good football as a sort of like a number 8. Like connecting the defence to the forward half. And that's what the problem was for them a bit last year. The midfield was a bit just like hollow. And we're seeing, I think we'll touch on it later on, but the Mounts, the Havertz, Kovacic to a lesser extent, but they're all sort of failing at their new clubs. So it's sort of showing that...
Who was the rumour?
That midfield was...
There was a rumour to... there was a rumour of... is there any more like Chelsea midfielders left? There was a rumour that one of them was going to leave.
No, Cucurella's to United.
That's not midfielder. Cucurella to United. It was like, have you guys not learned your lesson?
It's a more reach in Chelsea.
I think that's a more of like a panic, like loan deal.
You need someone for left back.
And there's also a player in there.
Luke Shaw and Malacia are out, so Dalop is our left back now.
And he's got no left foot, so
he's actually all right there. He actually plays a bit like Arsenal. He inverts.
He inverts.
So Zinchenko's left footed.
As far as that game, stock standard.
Yep.
Luton, that looks pretty much nailed on going down. Our predictions are sort of lining up there for those guys.
I don't really see an escape for them. Like
I was talking to someone last night about like he was texting me about how bad Sheffield were.
Yeah.
As in like he couldn't believe like the disparity between Sheffield and City. Shout out Lames. But like I don't know. So the guys who went down last year were obviously Leeds, Southampton and Leicester.
Like much better team.
Like in terms of the it seems night and day between at least the bottom two who feel like they're going to be bottom two
I'd
this
say
year,
Burnley,
and those guys.
Even them at this rate,
okay,
they're not going to have a season that we all thought they were going to have.
I'm still not convinced by that. I think Burnley could come good. But whereas
Sheffield
and Luton,
I think they're so far off.
They look.
But even like I said last week, they look way more promising than all three of them.
Who?
Wolves and Everton look promising than all three that have come up.
I think Everton aren't that. I think Everton.
No, I think. We'll touch on. Did you watch the Burnley game?
Yeah.
They looked alright, but I think Burnley are missing some key personnel, but I think in terms of the overall structure of how they play.
The thing is, well, with Burnley, you're getting we'll get touched on a bit later on, but getting the players together is the biggest thing because there's a lot of guys who you might have known that have not been there last year. Like there's a big turnaround of players at Burnley because the whole Premier League you get money, right?
So with like Sheffield and Luton, I think Luton just highlighted that. Yeah, they're gonna. As we said pre-season, they're gonna need to do really well at home to stay up.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think it might be just like too big of an ask. Same as Sheffield. Like they both look.
Sheffield actually look.
Personally, I think Sheffield don't look like. I think
they're creating solid. They're creating a little bit.
Regardless, I think
look at the City game. They really should have come away with a point in the end.
No, I disagree. I think that they had one shot.
Doesn't matter. It's the 85th minute and it's a draw. You come away with a point in that situation.
But City are weird in the sense that because when teams sit back at City, firstly, it shouldn't have been 1-0. Aka had a goal.
I know that. And Haaland, there was a couple.
And look.
It was a 4-0.
So, it was a 1. And look, you're right in the sense that it was 1-1 at the 85th minute. And I agree with you in the sense that, okay, like this game is unique in the sense that you can sit back and soak it up and get a bit of luck. But I think across the course of a season, the difference between Burnley and Sheffield is that Burnley will take it to City. At least from what we've seen so far.
We saw them take the City. They took the City.
You're right. Yeah. Burnley took it to City and weren't afraid to get battered up, And as a result, they're going to lose that game 3-0, 2-0, whatever it was. But they will beat some teams around them. And I think they'll find enough. Whereas Sheffield and Luton, I just
don't think they have the caliber of players.
You simply put, though, you compare the two games just raw in the game. Haaland played very average against Sheffield. Some of the finishes against Burnley were remarkable, and then you get 2 Roger goals. So if Haaland had played that good against Burnley against Sheffield,
as we said, it could have been 4-0. Could have been 4-0.
No, you're completely right. I'm just saying with Burnley, I think in terms of the way they play and their output in games against bigger teams, they're gonna do better. But I still see from a Burnley point of view that I don't see how they go even to Wolves, how they go to Everton, those teams around them. I don't think they have the caliber of players to play the attacking,
maybe
progressive game plan.
Cameron Archer to Burnley would have been a good signing. So I feel like we'll touch on that.
We'll get there.
But do you get where I'm coming from? Their expansiveness. I don't think they have the caliber of players to do that against other Premier League teams.
We'll touch on that.
We'll move on to the next one. Early fixture on Saturday. Tottenham got the job done 2-0 over Bournemouth.
I didn't watch that game.
Bournemouth on the team, they're watching it. They had a really good start the second half. And I think these are one of those teams, again, that have only got a single point so far this season. And maybe is what we're sort of referring to with Burnley, where I think they're going to get points eventually. The new manager's sort of implementing his system. But Tottenham was just the Maddison goal. Papa Sarr, again, pushing forward from a DM position, rolls the ball in Madison. Great finish across goal.
Bournemouth the 16th, come on.
That touch. But quality. He drops the shoulder and clips, hooks it back in. Him and Basuma. Madison. I'm honestly willing to put this out there. There's not many midfields.
The midfield 3 right now is one of the top in the Premier League.
Yeah, and we're talking about a midfield last year who
none of them played for the team last year.
It looked like their biggest hole.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We were all worried about it in pre-season. We were all worried about who you signed.
My big thing was, I remember in pre-season, you guys were going, they need a centre-back, I said, yeah, they do. But
they've got the midfield.
They got this gap in the midfield, and they found 2 that were at their class.
At this rate, we're talking about Spurs, they're gonna win the league. Okay, I think
it's a solid. No, you're right. It's a Champions League push.
It's at the moment it is.
It's a Champions League
but
push.
I still think they will get found out against teams who are much better up top.
But the counterpoint of that, Manchester United finished 3rd last year without winning away to a top 8 team. And they still both finished 3rd. Spurs could
last year was a weird league though.
You say that,
but I think we're not going to last year Liverpool and Chelsea didn't exist. But
United still has 75 points. You get 75 points.
Are you sure 75?
Yep. if you get 75 points, you'll finish in the top 4. I'm 100%.
Tottenham have the ability to get there.
Go. Have a look if you want.
Why are you checking that out? The second goal.
I need to check this.
Second goal came from Kulusevski. Again, it was a doggy from left back. He's been awesome as well, doggy. Pushing right up on the byline, chased his own ball down, crossed in. Kulusevski went in the back of the net. So I think right now for Spurs, you're seeing it similar to Chelsea. The fullbacks are basically at the byline. The wingers are tucking in. Obviously, when they're attacking, they go nice high and wide.
Yeah.
Son looked better.
Yeah.
Again, still without a better product again. He's getting better though, right?
But he was in a more direct.
More direct. Yeah. Whereas Richarlison kind of stayed in the gap.
I would say Richarlison still like.
I'd be chucking Son up top.
Would you?
And
you put Perisic on the left?
I just try it out.
Perisic has looked good in the games he's come on. I think he's looked aggressive.
So the game was up for the balance. Bournemouth sort of dominated the first 20 minutes, second half.
Yeah.
Ange brings on Højbjerg and Perisic, 2 guys I don't think he favours, but he knows his experience. So he brings them on, and the game, those 2 just controlled the game. So I feel like surely Perisic due a start. If Richarlison's that bad, he chucks Son in at number 9.
I don't think Son would do a bad job up top, and I think he'd score.
Son's played that role in his career.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's always been super direct, like a super direct winger.
Yeah.
So I think
I don't know if Son works as well so out wide in Ange ball. Like he.
I think he works. I just don't think you get the best out of him. You know, Son's always been a
goal scoring winger.
Yeah, like a goal scoring.
Yeah, when you
super
look
direct.
at him, he's fucking Salah. Salah doesn't sit on the fucking byline.
He tucks right in.
I 100% agree with you in the sense that I think Son can play that role fine. I just don't think you get the best out of him.
Yeah.
And as a result, you're lacking. You're not getting output out of your striker. You've got a guy on the left wing there who can play centrally and get output, and is really good on both feet. Can play that role.
And the pace.
And then you've got guys who can come on the left there and produce a bit.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense logically, but maybe that's just the fever in me.
To wrap it all up, obviously, I think Bournemouth still going in the right direction. Probably have got the points they deserve for the football they play. Yeah. But Tottenham, despite maybe not getting Champions League, but right now they look
better than we all predicted. Better than we all predicted so
much more connected.
And as an Australian, we're pumped.
We're riding every. I'm riding every.
I mean, even as an Arsenal fan, I can't. I still don't see them as our direct rivals.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me which can really be happy for Spurs.
The good vibes are still rolling on Spurs. The midday games, a few of them. We'll get started with the United game. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Within 4 minutes, I'd taken off and turned the TV off, and then ended up chucking
Taiwo scored for the 7th game in a row.
Yeah, 7 in a row. And it's 9 goals in 7 now. Yeah. The finisher, we're talking about it just off air as well, to drop Onana. It was quite smart to drop the shoulder, try to fake the shot. Onana sort of fell over like a shit, and then corner there. And then the goal as well. No one really manning up on volley for the ball into the box from Gibbs White. Forest for the first, let's say 8 minutes when they still had the ball at their feet looked alright. But after that, United to 90% possession, I think it was from the 10-minute mark to the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, it was a really weird one because I remember clicking onto the game and about the 4th minute mark, I sent you a message and I was like, "Am I reading the score right?" But
after a few too many beers,
too many on Saturday night. But United actually looked decent. Probably from the 20th minute onwards. Even maybe a little bit, maybe just before that. 15 minutes onwards.
Martial started, obviously, so Rashford was on the left.
Yeah, Rashford looked so much better off the left.
And you're big on the Rashford playing, you really agree.
You also love Garnacho, that's your boy, so...
I do love Garnacho, but I think he's, 18 or 19?
Work in progress.
He's playing for Man United. He's not playing for Sassuolo in the Italian league.
Gabriel Martinelli was 18 over Arsenal, and was running amok in the league, man. I'm
running amok at 8th place, but
Fair enough.
But I think this week either Martial or Højlund will start. I wouldn't be surprised if we start Højlund. I know there was a chance he was going to be on the bench. He had 2 main training sessions.
2 sessions, yeah.
So 2 main training sessions before this game. He'll guaranteed be in the squad.
Wait, did we talk about Mason Greenwood last week?
No.
Has that come out since?
No, we didn't. So we might as well talk. We could touch it.
Yeah, that's your boy as well. Not in like a condoning way, but as in you were so big on Mason Greenwood.
Okay, I'll explain what I was.
I hit the nail on the head. And not even the Saudis want him. I said this. I said no one's going to want Mason Greenwood because he's the worst PR.
I think there's been talks in Italy.
I got this spot. Not even the Saudis.
There's talks with Atalanta and Besiktas in the Turkish League.
But say Turkish League won it. The Turkish League.
Oh, the Turkish League.
I'll give my honest opinion here. On the current findings and everything the public knows in terms of the videos and stuff, the outcome Man United have found is perfect. The problem I'm finding with what Man United have done is they've gone out and basically said he's innocent and then got rid of him. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's confusing like that.
That's the biggest thing with me. They've gone and go, he didn't commit those.
But we don't want him here.
We don't want him
here.
Yeah. Under what he did, those things, like disgusting things to come out, he's got to leave.
Yeah.
Because Man United aren't just a football club; they're a brand and
a stigma of it all hanging around the club.
This is where you came in last time.
No, but on a moral level, do you think he should go?
On a moral level, if they
be careful here. This is going on.
No, you're right. On a moral level, if they're saying he's innocent, though.
It's a contradiction.
They shouldn't have said that. I think on a moral level.
Did they say he was innocent?
Yeah,
they said he was innocent.
They said the word innocent.
The way they worded it, it basically was he's not convicted of anything.
He's not. No, he's not. Yeah, he's not guilty. Yeah. And, well, due to our findings, we found him not guilty, but it's in the best interest of both ourselves and Matrix.
To put it simply, it's probably best for him to get out of the country.
I agree with that.
And then secondly, like you said, like I was saying earlier on, but I think I was slowly moving back towards backing him, but early on, I was like, PR, it's all for the club. We're a brand, we're global.
He should have left though, but
it's the way they handled it was so wrong.
You were convinced he was going to go online and just come back like there was nothing.
No, I didn't say. I wasn't convinced he was going to come back. I said I want to see what the reaction is in 2 years' time because I've already seen by lots and lots of people on the internet what they were saying 2 years ago. We're talking about United fans disregarding other fans because other fans just always are going to slander. If that happened to one of your players or something like that, I'm going to slander as well, way more than I am at my own club. Like you said about party.
But the party thing is funny because it's a bit of a joke because there's literally zero evidence besides the Snapchat where it's like I could become Thomas Partey on Snapchat right now as well. Yeah. The point is that Mason Greenwood's whether we're saying he's guilty for sexual assault or whatever it is, or we're just saying he's not a great person. Is sort of more so what we're leaning, in the sense that it's I
just don't think United have treated it well.
The way they handled the end of it, I think,
I think it's always hard to handle these things when they come out publicly and you can't.
This is what it looks like to me.
Soften it a little bit.
I was watching Goldbridge and it was kind of what he said, but to a lesser degree. But to me, it looks like they've gone in with this released this document and stuff and gone, we want to please every single party. But it also
by doing so, you've pleased nobody.
Yeah, you've also pleased nobody.
So what approach would you have taken then? What would you have done if you were Man United?
If you're getting rid of him, you say
if you're getting rid of him, we just say that you wouldn't even release anything proper. I just say we've decided to part ways due to mutual consent. That's it.
I don't think it's I think United handled it pretty well, to be honest. I think regardless,
it's opened up more questions.
Unfortunately, the reality of the world is
it's opened up more questions.
If Mason Greenwood sucked, you would have just you would have pulled the pin on this a week after it came out, right? You would have been after thorough investigation for a week, we decided to part ways with Mason Greenwood, Done. But fortunately or unfortunately, Mason Greenwood, was supposed to be the next big thing.
Talent of
he would have been a $120 million pound player, right? And the reality is, he was a massive financial asset for United off the pitch, right? In the sense forward. So they needed to do a thorough investigation, and as a result, it looks like it looks kind of bad because it's almost like, why didn't they react to it straight away? And I think after an investigation that long, after waiting that long, you have to come out and give a little bit of a spiel. You can't just kind of part ways things. So I think that leaves too many questions.
No,
because they would be like, okay, well, what did they find? Sort of thing. Was he innocent? Was he guilty? I don't know.
I don't have the
it's
exact.
always going to be hard.
I don't have the exact presser in front of me, but I'm 90% sure that some of the words were.
We found him
not guilty of that. But he's made mistakes, and now everyone's thinking, what mistakes has he made if he wasn't guilty with that?
It's sort of leaving the ambiguity there where, the moral thing.
Yeah, but it's just a weird
the way
thing to say.
That's been linked to him, the way it probably has happened, realistically, something has probably happened, that you have to get rid of him. But don't leave it up to question, I think, in a way.
You don't leave it to question.
In our eyes, we see this as not morally correct for the football club, as such we start part ways. That just leaves it, okay, cool. He's made a mistake, the club doesn't back it, they separate. Instead of saying not guilty, but mistakes, you've got this grey area.
The words were on the, I think it was the sexual assault charge and stuff, we've agreed, and we've got extra evidence from the, what's it called? The
police.
The police they said, we've got extra evidence that's not available to the public, and he's not guilty.
No.
So how can you say that?
No, because Tots, I think it's unfortunately a reality that, there is going to be some undisclosed evidence where it's like, it may be, there may have been more behind the scenes about like, their relationship and certain factors of their relationship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think regardless, the stuff that's published, like, clearly it was unconsensual.
Okay,
clearly,
blah, blah, blah. Get him to go, but why put out some crap? All I'm saying is, on the way Man United...
Just make it clear.
On the way Man United...
Well, because they probably have to say...
It doesn't make sense to me why
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a legal element where they have to state for the record that he's not guilty.
Yeah, maybe.
And then otherwise it's like a defamation case or something.
Yeah, okay, maybe that...
maybe
to be honest,
on that.
Because it's like
following the legal.
Because they've obviously ended his contract, right?
Yeah, they've terminated.
So obviously, contractually, there's a little bit there which is saying like, okay,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why are you ending such players' contracts?
There's definitely a payout.
I completely disagree. I think he's got 0 cents.
Well, he was getting paid the whole time up until.
Yeah, but now he's got his contract ripped up.
But I think they would have found enough evidence to be like, okay, unfortunately, the players committed such actions which now make his contract void.
Yeah.
And I think Mason Green would be lucky to earn $1 in the rest of his career because clubs will blackmail the hell out of him saying you're lucky we're giving you a shot.
Yeah,
and he'll earn he'll earn like
literally
nothing.
Championship League One level type. Yeah. For his first contract
for a player of his quality, they'll approach him and be like, you're lucky to get a gig.
Yeah,
don't F up because you're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
And we're going to pay you whatever we want to pay you.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying with what I'm saying. I'll just end it on this. And I'll just end it. All I'm saying is, I think it's actually good for him to go in the sense that
do you think it's the correct decision?
Oh yeah, Ten Hag's a new manager as well. Like that's something that happened before Ten Hag.
Yeah.
So like in that instance, you probably don't want something that happened before this. Like we call it like this new generation of United now, where like the whole team is different. Apart from Bruno and Rashford. Yeah. The whole team's different to what we had before. So on that instance, I'm fine with him to go. I was just saying from the point of view, I said, the way United said it is like, it doesn't make sense to me why they've let him go. Yep. But on the evidence that we had in front of us that the public has, get rid of him.
They made it sound weird, but they made the correct decision.
That's how I...
On the pitch, obviously the 2-0 down to 4 minutes. United came running back, possession.
Yeah.
Really looked good to see Eriksen back in that midfield. It looked like last season again, a bit more control. Casemiro looked a little bit better, Sterling underdone. Varane went off for half time, so we don't know what's happening there. But then Casemiro was on the score sheet also, and then Bruno as well. So a midfield masterclass, all three on the score sheet, and just go over the line in the end. So I think an important win, considering we'll take it on to Arsenal a little bit, but what happened over there in London as well.
What was the last goal again in the game?
It was a foul on Rashford and Bruno scored the penalty in the 78th minute there. So a good result for United. Big game this weekend to come up. We'll move on to Arsenal there while we're at it. So down there, the Emirates. Yeah. Kick us off, mate.
Obviously, it's never easy to, like, when teams go 1-0 up in the first 5 minutes, as sort of you saw with your game. But I think, like, in our case particularly, like, Fulham were able to, sit back, and you get the luxury of just being able to sit back and try to soak it up. And look, I think our XG in that game was something like 3 goals to 0.5. The reality is that we ended up peppering them. But as I said before, it was a lot of pot shots. Obviously the goal came from a Saka mistake and Ramsdale caught out. I've seen people blame.
I don't think it's on Ramsdale. Ramsdale's
do you think that Pereira as well
He scuffed the shot. He scuffed
it.
I think he did, to be honest.
I think
he tried to go like skip, chip to the right.
Yeah.
We end up like scuffing it left.
I don't think that's Ramsdale. He's getting back off his line.
Ramsdale. Like, even if Ramsdale did, even if it makes Ramsdale in this scenario, I never put the blame on the keepers in this scenario because it's like it catches you so off guard that your preparation is like zero. You're trying to get back in the position, and honestly, I think like.
It just looks bad, isn't it? It works than it is.
It looks, but like, it's just not his fault.
Your best winger should not be mispassing a pass.
So look, that's unfortunate. But then we end up getting ourselves back in the game. Fabio Vieira came on. So credit to Arteta for making good starts.
Incredible.
He looks really good.
Dynamic.
Man, so unfortunate. That would have been. Oh, I need a shot in the last 30 seconds as well. Would have been one of the best subs.
Yeah, it was
Oh, so sad.
All I'll say though, we talked a bit about it off air, and I read a bit about it on Saturday night. You change the formation up a fair bit, this whole new style. You don't play Zinchenko. Obviously, Tierney's been loaned away, and you're playing sort of Party as this like right back,
Party right back, we're playing a centre back at left back.
Declan Rice and Havertz in there now who really underperformed this game. You're playing Eddie, but Gabriel Jesus is there. Like, what's going on there? Like, are you a fan of this? What's the whole deal here?
Look, I've always backed Arteta. That's my man.
Mikel.
But it does look like we're trying way too hard to accommodate for Havertz at the moment. And look, I've seen fans like slandering this. I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think when it clicks, like we'll be I think when it clicks, it can click really well. And
but you don't have time.
What? Yeah, one, we don't have time because suddenly the pressure, like it's the season where the pressure will genuinely mount.
Which you probably won't.
No, look. I'm not talking, I think it's more so as in like I can't see Arteta getting sacked throughout the season. Like put it like that. I think
he's bought himself enough time.
I think it's more so the case where it's like if we're 5th or 6th by the end of the year, I think by they'll do like a season review and be like, okay, thanks Mikel, but I think we're going to call time.
Yeah.
But so I don't think there's like genuine pressure on Mikel. I think it's more so the fact that behind closed doors and like, the fans sort of all know now as well. It's like, okay, it's been 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's time to, we capitulated at the end of last year.
Yep.
It's time to come good. And so I think there will be pressure mounting behind the scenes. Whereas I think with the Havertz thing, one, we don't have time. But two, it's like, the way I look at it is that where did we go wrong last year? We were clearly off the pace against the best team.
Yep.
So if we're going to approach the season the exact same way and hope to get different results, I think that's dumb. I think that's dumb. So I think you have to try something and experiment a little bit and try and upgrade, because clearly he looks at this as an upgrade to the way we'd play.
Yeah.
It obviously hasn't worked so far.
Yeah.
I don't think Havertz is as bad as people are saying he is. I think he's not been playing well, but I also think he could have had a great assist in this game. It was margins that Eddie was offside. Or Odegaard was offside rather. But I just think that, Havertz a bit of a scapegoat right now. But overall, the big picture is that, we're underperforming because we're trying to fit him in the team.
Yeah, a lot of moving pieces around.
Gabriel was a beast last year. I think it's very stiff for him not to be in the team at the moment.
It's so tough.
Kirill playing left back, Piety right back. I don't like that. I think I don't agree with that.
There's no proper full back there, I don't think.
But I'm also not going to sit here and think that I know better than, the guy who's got us to second place last year.
So what happened with Zinchenko though? Like, that guy was like...
Zinchenko will start. Zinchenko will 100% start this week.
He wasn't good enough.
Why not starting?
Because I think he's a bit underdone still. He's come back from an injury. He played, I think, 10 minutes the week before, and he played about half an hour this week. Or played 45 minutes this week, came at half time. I think that, I think he's tried to, as I said, I think when it clicks, it'll click really well and we'll look amazing. We'll look fluent. I think we'll get goals out of Havertz, because that's the end goal, right? We're trying to replace Xhaka's goals on the left, which got us so far last year.
Yeah, some big goals at point.
I think he scored nearly 10 goals, or maybe 10 goals. We've put a guy who can score goals and create output attacking in a possession-based team. I like the idea. I just don't think at the moment it's clicking. And I think as a result, we're looking at how bad we've started compared to last year. We're like, who have we put in there? Havertz. Rice has been okay, so it must be Havertz.
Yeah.
So all the blame's come to him, and I don't think he's actually been in reality that bad.
It just doesn't help himself when the ball gets crossed to the box and he just stands there and he's flat-footed. Like that was
also when Vieira comes on and does what he does.
Yeah, that's something for me that he's like, that doesn't help your case. And then when you're mispassing passes, do
you think Vieira could start this week?
I wouldn't be surprised, because I think Vieira is also sort of a similar. I think to be honest, I think Vieira fits the role better.
Yeah.
In the sense that Vieira,
defensively, and
all round
he's a much more fluent player, way more like a Bernardo Silva. Than whereas Havertz, you more aligned to like a KDB, sort of like a centre cam, big boy, can score goals.
To those guys, but you're right.
But it's in like the profile. If we're playing a similar brand to City, if you're gonna mirror players, you'd be like, Odegaard isn't like KDB in the sense that KDB is a direct guy. Odegaard is a really sort of fluent player, really nice to watch. Whereas Havertz historically, when he was good at Leverkusen, was like a goal scoring sort of direct big boy cam.
Right there,
Whereas Vieira,
I reckon the biggest problem with Havertz is he's never really played cam.
Not in the Premier League, but
at Leverkusen he was a false 9.
No, he was more of a false 9.
You're wrong. Havertz was a 10 at Leverkusen.
He's more of a 10 than a false 9. He wasn't as high as he is at Chelsea.
The season he scored all the goals, he played as a false 9. I don't know about the previous season.
He wouldn't have played with his back to goal as much, which he was trying to do at Chelsea at times. And it was going completely wrong.
Turn in behind, can't do that.
And look, so, I think... Yeah, so about the Fabio Vieira thing, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts.
Yeah.
Because he looked so good when he came on. And he's just so much more fluent. As you saw, the positions he was picking up.
And that cross into the box.
Yeah, the cross is elite. He was playing everywhere. I think he's so much better with his back towards the goal and like picking the ball up there, driving, interplaying with our really dynamic forwards up top because they're also dynamic. And then you sort of have Havertz, which doesn't seem to be clicking at the moment for him. So it's like, I think for our overall team build-up play, going back to right now, what we had last year will be a much better fit. And then trying to maybe work Havertz into the team over a bit more time might do the job better. But at the moment, it's obviously not click for us. So if we can maybe switch it back to last year.
On the Fulham side of things, also getting a big draw away from home after a really average start. But the difference was Paulinho went in that midfield again, and they all of a sudden looked just better again. Bassi at the back as well, then you signing the centre-back. Picked up an unfortunate red card. It was a red card. The way we've seen the game played now, it is a red card. But Paulinho, that guy is so important for Fulham. Like if they keep a hold of him next...
I'm actually going to go back on that one. And he definitely wasn't last man. Saka. Saka wasn't last man for him to get a second yellow.
But he grabbed him on a counter attack.
No, but it's just a foul.
It's a second yellow. It has to be a second yellow. He's 1 on 2, and it's Saka. He has to get a yellow card. He literally grabbed him.
There is a clear play behind him.
I think it's a red card.
I think it has to. Even if it's not a red, it's yellow.
I think nowadays it's a red card. Like the way they're adjudicating everything.
I don't think there's any chance there's a red. I'm saying it wasn't a second yellow.
It was a second yellow.
That's what I mean. I mean second yellow.
If we're going to score, if we keep going. But I think the points for Fulham, that point's massive for their season to turn them around.
Especially with how
was all being going behind the scenes. With
out of form they look.
Yeah, their defense looked so rocky.
As I said, like statistically they got dominated. They were lucky to get a point there. So in terms of our Fulham predictions, I think we all had them around like 15th-ish.
Yeah, around there. Just
they're not looking good.
Yeah,
they're looking like Fulham came up last year and did what we're expecting Burnley to do this year. They're looking a little bit like that like last year, except without that X factor, without the Mitrovic, without some of the stability at the back, or at least a little bit of stability because they're looking really shaky at the back.
But if they can get results like this, that's going to keep him at spot.
100%.
I feel like that's
maybe this can spur them on.
Fulham are going to be this team this year. They're going to be the exciting football. Interesting fact, that's Arsenal's third time conceding the first minute in the last 9 games.
I know, it's not good. I can recall Philip Billing did it. And the one before that, I don't know who that was.
Brentford game, something like that. It was, another London side came and scored instantly. We'll move out to Merseyside, Everton 0, Wolves 1, the relegation 6-pointer.
Yeah, did not watch this.
I watched a fair bit of the game.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Was it boring?
It actually wasn't. Everton were as good as they were on match week 1 against
I'm going to start off by saying, kudos here to the keepers. Pickford
what a save from
and Jose Sarr.
Both of them.
What a save from Sarr.
Both of them. Even Pickford, there was 2 he did.
The deflected one to him.
On the post.
Yeah, incredible. I think from this game that we see again, both teams need a forward. Like, no one can put the ball in the back of the net.
play?
Nah, his face injury.
Oh, he was out for that?
Yeah, so Dan Juma's up front. He was offside, but he missed the one-on-one. He had a shot on his left foot. He sprayed it.
I don't know 100% sure if he was off.
He was off. He was off. I think his front shoulder. But, the point for both teams, Fabio Silva can't score. He's not a good enough striker for Wolves. And then you've got Dan Juma, who's really a winger, playing up front.
How Mateus Cunha play?
All right. I think
Everton... Not as good as the first.
He didn't have much of the ball.
But Everton dominated the first 60, 70 minutes. Actually, Everton played probably the best across the whole 90 minutes. Just that Wolves had the better moment. And it was that...
Can't get any points in these games that way. Obviously, I didn't watch it, but it's in that cannot be a good sign.
No. Just stuff
in 2 games where it feels like they were the best team.
Experienced players like Tarkowski, like back post. He needs to at least get on target, like open goal, back post. I understand there's a little bit of an angle, but just head leans back.
Yeah, and just blast it.
An experienced player like him needs to at least get that onto target.
And it's those experienced Daesh players that have not been delivering.
They're the ones. Like the actual younger players,
they played alright.
They're actually alright.
Yeah. Was the full and then the right back? I think Garner's playing so hard on the pitch. I think the other side, Patterson played alright, but there's another young kid.
He played as well. He played really good.
Garner's playing as an 8 now. He's not even playing as a holding player. And he looked like the Middlesbrough Garner, where he was just getting forward, getting the edge of the box, shots a goal.
I still don't get how United let him go for 12 million and then don't let McTominay and Maguire go for 30. That's another whole story in itself.
But the midfield for Everton, it just doesn't make sense. Well, I guess it does make sense because they haven't got a good forward, but it doesn't make sense how they're not scoring because Decore played a great game. That header probably could have gone in. Jose held a great save. Garner's playing incredible. Onana's even last year carried on from one of the best sort of midfielders in that lower half team. So I'm just, like you said, I'm worried how they're going to get points because they're playing some really, really high quality football at home.
They look vulnerable. They look really vulnerable, scary at the back.
Yeah.
Like I'd say their midfield is actually all
0
right.
points. Oh my God.
Their midfield's not pretty good.
Very good.
They're
attacking for a bottom half team.
What did I preview?
They don't have an out and out, like they've tried more play up there, more
Not
play
gonna
not going to work. They need like Calvert-Lewin out there so they can get Danjuma back on the left.
Yeah, Danjuma is like a 10 or a winger, and then up front, DCL's the answer. But when are they all going to be fit together? Because that's the problem for Everton.
I had Brentford below Everton in my prediction.
Huge, like...
For massive for Wolves. Gary O'Neill probably deserves it because they were good against Brighton for 45 minutes. They were good against United for... 70, 80 minutes. Yeah. And obviously that Kalajic young kid scored. The guy probably got clattered against Onana and probably deserved a penalty against United. He scored. He's come back from a long-term injury, so it'll be good to see how he goes up front. Hopefully that's their striker going forward. But yeah, big win for Wolves. They're now free of that relegation scuff for the time being. The late kickoff, this one really surprised. I watched this game. This really surprised me. Brighton 1, West Ham 3. David Moyes masterclass in counter-attacking football.
I just grin. That's all I can do these days.
You've nailed it. Kudus is there now.
This man has been blessed.
Yeah. But that midfield, like Alvarez.
How good is that midfield?
And they brought in
you literally manifested
Kudus.
Kudus is coming as well.
Yeah, Kudus is coming in now.
Incredible.
They brought in the centre back.
You still got Paqueta.
Paqueta's staying gambling. He's gambling. Kept him at
West Ham.
Yeah, so Paqueta's now playing off the left.
I like that move. He's more freedom.
More attacking.
Yeah.
And now they're playing like Souček, Alvarez. But I reckon it's going to be Souček, Alvarez, Kudus.
Oh, Ward-Prowse has to play.
And then, no. Sorry, not Souček. Souček will go on the bench. It's going to be Ward-Prowse.
Souček and David Moyes will play.
Right now, like I talked about this other season, you're going to need a Souček COVID season. He's doing the COVID season, Souček again. He is looking all of a sudden fit again. Yeah. He's running both ways. He's picking the ball up, intercepting the ball.
Everywhere though.
No, that's crazy.
They literally did not have the ball at all. And every time I got the ball, it ended in the back of the net. Like it plays so much into the Antonios, the Bowens, all they need is one opportunity. Like that Bowen goal.
Antonio's also playing.
But we gotta don't get
because he was shocking last year.
Yeah,
he's more like that same Souček. Where it was good, better the year before.
We say though, like, what are they gonna do when Rice leaves? Like, bringing in Alvarez and Ward-Prowse and now Kudus as well.
Spent their money.
Some teams spend it bad, and then clearly they've spent it as well.
Yeah,
like they didn't do anything, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll start making signings after match week 1."
We just lull everyone to a sense of security.
Like,
but right now,
screwed you and
us.
Screwed you and
oh, like there's signings as well.
But I'm gonna say right now, Ward-Prowse is arguably one of the best signings this season for what he has.
It's a match made.
I've got a question for you because I don't think he could. They wanted McTominay before they wanted Ward-Prowse. Do you think McTominay would have an impact that Ward-Prowse?
Not that he'd have impact, but he'd play a similar sort of role where he'd just sit in next to Souček, but they wouldn't be as attacking and wouldn't be the output would be the same.
And then same with Maguire, like probably would work.
I think Maguire would be match made in heaven with West Ham.
Probably would just because they're sitting so deep and it's just like
they were on the edge of their box for about 70 minutes in this game,
but they soak it in so good.
And then once they're all up,
I'd actually say their scariest bit is Areola.
He's been awesome.
Yeah, he has, but he just when he gets the ball, sometimes he looks so like fumble. Like that one, he went and took the catch.
I know,
but and then it just dropped.
I know, but
and I'm like, what about
like,
this simple thing?
Evan Ferguson had 3 shots, a shot, one at the right at the end, and a header, and he sacked these like remarkable, horizontal save into the crossbar. Like his shot stopping's there, so like if he fumbles,
I'm just saying, he looks a little bit like risk prone.
But right now, top of the league, and Man City got ahead of the second in the league. They're top of the league at the time of winning. You probably got the prediction bang on here. Do you reckon when Europe comes around, do you reckon they do stay in that mid-table top half?
I don't see a world where they don't finish top 12.
You reckon they've locked into that top 12 now?
I don't see a world where they don't finish top 12. I'm saying, but right now they look like they're going to go finish like 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
But I don't think
that high
they'll do that because when Europe comes, they probably will focus on Europe. I reckon
they'll focus on Europa League.
Like they're obviously not going to probably finish top 6 just because of, as we've said so many times on this show, the depth of the other teams. Yeah. That's like the whole reason. Like probably if we go back last year, how they're playing at the moment, if they kept that consistently, they could probably finish like
8th, 7th,
7th, 8th. Yeah. But like it just won't happen, and they're going to understand that.
Yeah.
So I think they'd be happy to finish like 11th, 12th, and focus a bit on Europe because you know how the Europa League is now with that team there, and apart from the other the other European teams, the other English teams such as Liverpool.
Yeah.
The other European teams that they're going to come up against, I don't think would have much better quality than them.
Would you agree with that? Position per position, I don't think.
Depends how full strength they go as well. Like, if they play full strength every week, then they're going to obviously feel
Are they that much like...
They're not that far off.
Are they that much off Roma?
No.
Here's the point in proving. 2 years ago when they were in the Europa League, they made the semi-final and they didn't have Paqueta knocked them out. Yeah. And they've got him now and they've got an in-form Antonio again. Yeah. And they're keeping
situation back then.
And they've got Kudos and Alvarez
who have improved and Ward-Prowse has improved that midfield as well. Yeah. And not only losing you lose Declan Rice, but the combination of all those.
I actually think the combination of them coming in then instead of Declan Rice is way better.
Way better. Yeah.
Like sometimes in those teams,
Declan Rice is trash.
Declan Rice is a good player, but you can't have one player that's just an outright star, especially in the position he was playing.
Is that like Casemiro or?
I don't know. I wouldn't call Casemiro the only player in our team. We probably only got about 3.
But it's in like I'm saying, it's in like start of this year when Bruno plays attacking. It's like all this scapegoating on Casemiro when he's like trying to defend by himself. How's Lisha been this year?
Rubbish.
Yeah, he hasn't been good.
Too slow.
He looks like he's like off the pace, and then he's getting yellow cards like he's in a suspension.
Wait, it's the butcher. I love that. The butcher. It's so funny.
Lindelof actually looks like he's our best.
Yeah, he's looked right. Yeah. Brighton, a tough game for them, but they'll come good. They dominate 70+% possession. So they just got an unlucky week. The final
and Ciso out though.
Yeah, he's out for a couple months.
They've got enough there to fill him in.
I know, so they reckon it's ACL. Do they reckon it's ACL?
I don't know.
I don't think
they would have found out by now.
All I saw it was going to be a couple months. But like, he just looked so promising that it would be like...
It's a big loss.
Oh, it's huge. Like, we go back only a week now, those 2 assists.
Yeah.
That was just magical.
Just from that one game João Pedro played, like, João Pedro's sort of supposed to play that 10 role, but they didn't look as fluent when he played. Like, obviously, I think they only scored 1 goal when he was on the pitch. Yeah. So, and they're obviously not playing him this week, even though Enciso was out. Yeah,
that's a
clearly seem a little bit reluctant to play him.
I think João Pedro ends up playing off the left for European games.
Yeah, you're right.
Looks like.
I think João Pedro is really versatile. He can play up top. He can play
left, right.
They're going to let Bonamate go on loan.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They signed another guy as well.
Start playing.
They've signed the Caicedo replacement. I don't know his name. That's all for
I heard that as well.
For 25 million.
Where was he from? We made our predictions.
Actually, yeah. I don't know where he's.
I think he's South American. I think he might be Colombian.
He loves the South American.
That's funny, yeah.
As far as another Saturday, I'm looking at this, next Saturday game, Brentford 1, Palace 1. Like, it just sums these two teams up. They're so defensively strong. There's moments as AUs of the world, they're all creating, and ended up being Anderson. He got the goal for Crystal Palace.
Sade, though, first goal.
How good was the first goal as well? Off the left, dribble pass.
Again, though, it was probably a little bit of
questionable
defending. Like, again, they've given him like that. They've shown him the inside, and especially this time when Sade is right-footed. Like, you've got to show him the line. Like, at least with when we're going back and we're talking about the Sterling one, it's just like Sterling's not dominant on his left. Yeah. Like, but you can't show someone who's dominant foot is right.
But what a first goal in the Premier League. Like, it's been a while with him like pressuring him to score a goal with the total 20 replacement.
Yeah, he's been like pretty raw.
Playing on the left though now,
a bit less pressure. Vista missed up front. Vista missed a gimme header. I know it was like pouring with rain, but like if you get an open header and it's there, you just got to.
The standard of heading seems to have dropped off. You got the guys like Chris Wood and that, but the rest of them, no one can.
The ball's always on the ground now because everyone's playing like in between lines. As far as with the Caicedo replacement, Bemba is Cameroon.
Cameroon. So it's like a fake South American flag. Red, green, yellow.
It's a type of signing that he's gonna come in. And
Cameroon.
Give it 2 years and he'll be 100 million somewhere.
Bemba, he's got a rich name.
Well, they've already dropped the Evan Ferguson being 100 mil. They've already dropped that. Yeah. So it's in like.
How many more 100 mil?
These guys are just right. How do I invest in Brighton?
I want Ferguson though. He can't. He's still got to semi-live up to it.
No, Evan Ferguson, that's what I'm saying. Is in like Evan Ferguson has had like 6 months of where like he's been in and out of the team, and he comes on, has cameos, plays well in that, and he's already 100 mil. I think he's really good, but like
on the weekend it was very unlucky not to score.
Yeah, Evan Ferguson's a beast. He's a beast.
As far as that game, the Brentford Palace game, I think both teams would take it. They're both solid teams. They're both going to be mid-table teams. That we also agreed. Yeah. Brentford at home against 2 have been beaten, so they just keep rolling on. I think thank God Palace kept him because I think they'll be in a bit of trouble without him. He was linking up the play, basically was involved in that setup, played into IE, got it back to Anderson scored. So I think both of them to take the point, and it's just sort of stereotypical of where those sort of teams are at the sort of mid-table at the moment. We'll move to Sunday. We'll start with the game we all seem to be watching, Burnley and Villa. Burnley 1, Villa 3. We mentioned a bit at the start that Burnley is still going to play that aggressive style of football. They outpossession Villa, whose midfield 3 is very strong. McGinn in there. It was Kamara yesterday, and who was the two they had in there? Douglas Luiz in there as well.
Douglas Luiz,
yeah. And McGinn, I guess, that's probably the best player.
McGinn has been given like a license to press and get high.
You can already see what Unai's trying to do with Villa though. Like, it's very evident that Diaby is tucking in.
Yeah.
And, like, Matty Cash is basically a right winger.
He is.
Matty Cash was getting so high.
Two goals, two good finishes as well.
I think I was telling you guys, I think I should have said this on the show, how I spent so much time deciding my Villa defender. I was like, I don't know if Matty Cash is going to play every week. So I went with Pau Torres, and so frustrating.
No getting the Paddy Cash.
Pau's good. He was actually good yesterday.
He's very good, yeah.
But it was given a little bit of pressure on that goal. Apparently, like they think he might have.
He got rolled a bit too easy.
Yeah.
You talk about the defense; they're sort of playing the same thing you guys played last year, where like it's a 4 on paper, but then like Cons
I think it was a 3. I think it was a 3.
Did it come up on 3 on the graphic? I swear.
I don't know what it came up with, but like when you're playing Ezri Konsa,
was basically Douglas, the right back.
Diego Carlos and Pau Torres.
Yeah.
Like, so. Look, I think Cons is probably the most attacking minded of those 3. I think he got a little bit off the ground.
It reminds of the Ben, not as good as his feet with Ben White, but it's sort of that same sort of thing where like he's like the wing back that won't get as high, and then you've got the left back, or the right back in this case, Matty Cash getting right up there.
And then I think to be honest, it's like an almost pretty traditional back 3 in the sense that so you
got
Digne and Cash, who's up. No idea.
Who?
Leon Bailey. I got no idea.
I thought it was just a back. I thought it would be out for a week or 2. And
I'm not sure, but in terms of like my only thing, I'm getting like Unai Emery flashbacks right now. My only thing is I find it funny because I think like Arsenal fans were always like, what is he doing with Lucas Torreira playing so high up the pitch?
Yeah.
And it almost kind of feels like John McGinn's doing that.
Yeah.
Because like McGinn is obviously not played
stereotypically would be a holder.
And he's still not playing as a 10, but he's been getting up the ground high.
He's a high 8. He's
and and it's funny because I wonder how long it's going to take for McGinn not to have an output and Villa to underperform before they start turning on Unai saying, what are you doing, Unai, playing McGinn as a 10? Like,
I don't know. It's a genius move. He's so strong. He just
really good.
Bodies off.
He's also quick. I thought he also looks so quick. He's like pretty sharp.
The acceleration of him.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the Watkins they don't need him to have the output. Like he only assists in this game.
3 assists in a row though.
Yeah, but like last year, if he hadn't scored, it was all
It was like
Luther, Villa.
When Villa were playing well, I think Watkins scored 8 games in a row.
Yeah,
like it was like Watkins.
They don't need him to do that anymore.
Nothing. Whereas at the moment, Diaby signing looks so good because he just looks so clinical, and 2 he's playing in a really central, really high up role where he can drift around.
Freedom.
Diaby looks really good.
Bailey.
He looked good in the last game
with Diaby and Watkins.
Bailey obviously
that front 3 would challenge most defense. He's going to put it.
I just don't know where Bailey will play though.
He just plays a wide.
No, but for who?
Well, yeah, it's a good point.
Because they obviously played 3. They obviously played 3 at the back.
They might not have played 3 at the back though. If
I don't know. I think
Matty Cash didn't get the license go on as much.
I think like they looked, despite conceding 1 goal,
very good finish from Foster.
I think they looked really, really defensively solid.
Yeah.
And as I said, just touching on that guy. This is my only drawback with. So we'll get on a bit about Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley.
I think my only concern with Burnley is that I think they got the style of play. I think they got the coaching. I just don't know if they have the personnel. What's his name? Foster.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So I think I was texting you this. I was about he looks so Brexit. This bloke, like, just despite playing like a pretty sort of fluent game style, he is like hold up play, like really jockey the ball.
We saw the goal. He held off Pau Torres. He's like half his size, rolled and finished. So like he's that sort of hold up.
It was a great finish. Don't get me wrong, but it's in like I keep bringing it back to Fulham last year because I think Fulham came up.
That's the blueprint, right?
Everyone had the expectation they were going to go straight back down because they were going to get battered because they're going to try and play their own way. I think this year people looked at Burnley and they've been like, we saw what Fulham did.
Yeah.
Let's give them a bit more credit. And I think we all did that in our predictions. But if I was going to, I still think it'll come good. But if I was going to like mention my concerns, I think it's like, at least Fulham had Mitro. They had, Willian. They had
Paulinho.
Yeah, they had like top quality players. Whereas, look, maybe we're still yet to find out who Burnley's players are. Like the ones.
you talk about reinventing. Like Goodmanson, the guy who was in the Dyche system, when he came on at half time, he just changed the whole midfield balance. I think that, again, another case of the first 15 minutes of the second half. They scored obviously, but they were like dominating the game. The ball lived in their half, and it was that like, the really fullbacks are literally high up. Yeah. The Foster was basically holding the ball up.
What's his name? The right winger?
Amdoni.
Oh, what's his name? I thought he was so good. He's got a bleached hair.
Benson.
I thought Benson was their best player. I thought Benson was so good.
For Goodmanson, which I was really upset about. I was big on him coming into this season because
I thought Benson was really good.
He's good, but I see what Company's do. Like he's like all these players. Some of them are older players from the era, and there's like Goodmanson's like reinvented himself as like a ball carrying.
Their keeper was also good.
Oh, James Trafford's very good. He's been good for a while, but and him picking it up a halfway. That's who he is. He's a sweeper keeper. He's good with his feet. But I think I get where you're coming from with the whole we're relying them on to click. But I think because of these new signings, the Antonis of the world, the Foster I think is a new signing as well. Archer obviously new there as well. You're going to have time for them to sort of like amalgamate, get company style of play, and it might leave them with 4 points from the first 6 or 7, like something like that. But I think they'll come good eventually, and their style of football is going to hold up, right? It's going to beat the Wolves, I think, of the world, and it's going to be the Evertons of the world. So I think they should be free. They should be free of relegation. Are you still though worried that they're going to fall in?
I don't know if they're going to fall in, but like I think our predictions might have been a little bit. Yeah,
Cameron Archer went to Sheffield.
Oh shit! I went to.
Yeah, I was about to say. I didn't want to sound like an idiot though. I was like, I swear he went to Sheffield, but no, he did.
Went to Sheffield. Okay, right.
So
I was like, am I dumb?
I'm not gonna say they're gonna get relegated. I don't necessarily think that, but because it's match week 3. I'd say what I've looked at so far.
No, this is the biggest coincidence. Right as we spoke about this FPL guy Andy tweeted, "It's official" of Cameron Archer. I got a notification. That is the scariest thing I've seen all day.
This moment about Archer.
That is the scariest thing I've seen. That is crazy.
How early is it over there?
I don't know, but that was crazy.
It'd be like 9 a.m. or something.
9 a.m. Yeah, it's 8. I think it's 8.
Yeah, but
9.
I don't think they're going to get necessarily relegated, but they don't look.
You're not sold on them though. Yeah, I can.
I'm definitely not sold on Birmingham.
I think they're going to struggle to get 40 points.
Right. Yeah, to be honest, like if I was going to read my prediction, I'd definitely put them down there. I think a part of me when I was doing it was like, I want one of them to stay up. And if anyone's going to stay up, I think these guys could maybe click and play really well. Yeah. But to be honest,
I reckon Luton, by the way, could do the Derby County, beat the Derby County record.
You reckon they're worse than Sheffield?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Luton are worse than Sheffield. We're yet to see.
I haven't seen Luton at home, but I think they've.
I can't see them getting points on the road. I can't see them getting points on the road.
Sheffield, I know they don't get much of the ball, but at least they look like they get up there. They're clinical, like they might score a goal. Luton look like they're doing nothing.
Well, Archer will be a good sign. I totally stuff that up. Archer will be a good sign because he'll finish if he gets a chance. So
I mean, Sheffield's they have been clinical though. We'll give them that. Because they're obviously against Forest, they
I still think Sheffield's getting relegated. I'm just saying that. I think they're better
20th or 19th.
But comparing the two worst teams,
I think this will be there'll be a big gap. Like even whoever finishes the bottom 2
6-point gap
will be relegated with 8 games left.
What you think? Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it'll be decided.
Yeah. Well, we might as well continue with that. So Sheffield United 1, City 2. I need to watch much of this game. I've obviously seen the goals go in. Yeah. But we all talked about the Haaland again. Last week had a bit of a stinker. I thought it was due to Botman just defending him well, but then this week misses a penalty. He still scores. We still talking about a bad week. He still scores, but
sorry, your comment before about you realise he's not a robot.
That's true though. Everyone's like,
I saw some tweet about it. That's why.
I'm saying.
I was expecting the boys to have a hat trick and I was so tempted to triple captain in this. I was like, this is the way. Thank God I didn't do that. So,
okay, we're touching this. I forgot we haven't spoken about the game yet.
We'll get on to it. But City again getting the job done, but I think. What you said as well, coming against City this start of the year, they're like in half a gear. They're not even in first gear yet. They're like there's Rodri misplacing passes.
I'm happy I put City as my prediction to win the league.
Yeah, because they're still winning.
Because they're not going to stay. They've got 9 points
and they've played some. And
they do this every single. Usually, actually. In previous years, how they're playing at the moment, they drop a couple of points and then come good. They're getting points while playing bad.
And they're playing against Newcastle United, one of the best teams.
To me, that's when do they actually have to verse you? How long?
I think 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
not the next
by
one.
then they'll be up and firing.
I mean, look, I touched on that. I obviously spoke pretty extensively about Arsenal before,
Yeah.
but like, I definitely think that like there was no point us coming into this season and doing it the exact same way and then losing
City
the same way.
done
It's
the
like we
same
had
thing,
to try. We have to try because we get dominated every time we play City in the last few years. It's like
Yeah, it's been hard.
possession wise, we feel like we get dominated. We can't create chances. They're just so, like they look. It's so strange, and I feel like we had to try and change something so that we can be the dominant team, at least at home. Like as in, if we want to be if we want to be like one of the big boys in the Prem now, we have to be like, we have to be able to beat City or be competitive and be the best team at home.
Yeah.
I think that's the start.
Yeah.
So I think Mikel is trying to shape us so that we can avoid this City thing, where they just seem like to automatically roll through everyone.
Just back half the year.
Because as you said, like they haven't even clicked. Like they're not playing their best game yet, and they're still like comfortably creating chances. I think that's the big thing: creating chances easily in deadly positions.
The sign I always see is like Roger, who was almost perfect for the back like the last 2 months, is misplacing passes and like stuff like that, and they're a bit slow to react and like
that's the one thing I've never seen Rodri do is get caught on the ball.
He's got caught on the ball every game so far.
Yes, that is like
that's when I know. Gee, these guys are on the beach.
But at the same time, he's got 2 goals.
Yeah, he's got two like match-winning goals in a way, like to close off games. So like, and Alvarez he's hitting his form, and like you got Foden doing his again. Foden was still very very impressed in this game. Grealish,
unfortunately, he was sick, so I only got 4 points instead of 25 out of Foden. So
and even Grealish's ball in the box was very quiet most of the game, and then whips that ball in the box. Like
Beautiful ball.
And like even the defense, have they really got down the back four yet? They've like Ake plays this week.
No, Vardiol played. I thought Ake was going to play on the left and Vardiol in the middle.
Yeah.
Vardiol was playing left back.
Yeah, he swung out.
Yeah, right. To be honest, I thought when I was watching. So I watched like the last half an hour. I thought Ake was playing left, but
I read about a rotation.
That would have been so pep. Yeah, swap.
That would be so pep.
But to be honest, when I watched, I thought Vardiol was playing centre back. I was going to say I thought Vardiol played pretty good in the time I was watching. I think
Vardiol's been the most consistent player so far.
And it looks like Vardiol's going to be their most settled defender.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
we say no stones. Yeah, so like it's unbelievable to think these guys have stones to add back to the mix.
Yeah, he actually might play as a midfielder.
Like Noah Kanji in the squad, they have so much depth. It's scary.
Wanting to play like that more defensive player next to Rodri, like they do. But do you want Kovacic? They probably will play Stones.
No,
Stones will do a better role than Kovacic.
Kovacic is not as defensive as Stones. Nowhere near.
Yeah, but Oregon Stones can attack better than Kovacic.
I thought to be honest, I thought the Kovacic signing was supposed to replace Gundo.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bernardo Silva play as the deeper line,
KDB
and then or when KDB's back, or Foden play the middle. If Foden was fit yesterday, I think it would have been Bernardo Silva next to Foden, Bernardo Silva next to Rodri with Foden up top, and as I was sort of referencing to Fabio Vieira. Bernardo Silva, I think, is like really good at getting. He's so good at getting the ball deep, like in between the centre backs almost,
picking the ball up
and like just driving forward and finding that little pass to like get the ball up the ground. I think Bernardo Silva is really good to play deep.
100%.
Okay,
which I think would be the long term implementation.
I would say I think if you're going into another low block again, you play like those three.
Yeah, when it comes to important like Champions League games, that's what will end up happening.
Yeah, 100%. To round it up against Sheffield, got a nice goal there, but again. Another chance you have
just
to
can't
convert.
create.
You have to convert a 1-1 going into the last 5 minutes. Again, back-to-back weeks now, they've been in a drawn situation.
Yeah, and even at the end, that was a bit. I don't know who was at the back post, but there was a ball whipped in like 91st, 92nd minute, and it was. I reckon
gettable.
More than gettable. Like any potent striker is putting that in the back of the net. So to not even put that on target. Yeah, is a bit questionable. Like it was a ball in back post, no one marking. All we had to do was like slide and get a touch on it. And it's
going to be a problem. These
I
points
think,
are going
as
to come
we
back
said
to
last week, like I think we'll say this every week of this year. Like these, like Sheffield and Luton, they just can't create.
Yeah,
and
not enough Premier League quality there.
And as you said, if you can't convert like a 1-1, when you can't create as a team, then like you're not going to be here for long.
And the problem is as well, the team's defenses in the Premier League in comparison to the championship are so much better.
Yeah, it's not
this like Brexit type of football where they're going to have 20% possession and go score and pinch points.
Yeah,
and like.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna play that, you have to. Like,
but it won't work.
You have to. Yeah. If it's the 85th minute and you've just gone 1-1, like that. I honestly think, like, you know, Sheffield could look at that game and be like, okay, like they might as well think we've already gone down, because if you're not going to do that this week, then you know, something has to change drastically over the next month or two, and you have to start being able to create goals, because if you can't do it now,
Archer's coming in, that will do something for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll see. If no one can create for Archer,
they're pulling it.
I mean, Archer's not bloody Messi.
No, I think that's
Cameron Archer's all right.
We're talking about him like as a $100
he's the
million
chosen
signing.
one. We got Cameron Archer.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
What is he, like a 15 million?
I think he's a loan.
They're going for an actual amount.
Yeah,
really? Is there a buyback clause? I thought they had some option.
There might be. I don't know. Some link. In the final game, I loved it. This was the most exciting game of the weekend. Loved watching this from start to finish. Controversy every single minute I spent this game. So let's get started off the Trent thing. So the whole throw in, yellow card, whatever. Yeah. 4 minutes later, brings the guy down. This is literally the exact same thing as Tommy Asu.
Yeah, we already spoke about this, but like,
I was annoyed watching it.
I was so confused.
There's no consistency is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
There's no consistency.
Are you guys happy with the way the Prem's approaching, like Trent throwing away the ball though?
Nah, I love the shout.
You like the love the shouts.
The whole kicking the ball.
I've always thought in the past, like, because it used to happen so much. Yeah, when there's a free kick and they go to put the ball there and they just kick it away. It's like
so funny.
I just couldn't believe they get away with it in the Prem.
Yeah.
Every other league in the world, it's like, you know, in the NBA you get like a flagrant, you get a tech. In the AFL you get 3 weeks suspension.
All this sort of rubbish.
Like a $15,000 fine for touching the arm.
Even other football leagues around the world, they probably still not have the same amount of rubbish that goes on. Like it couldn't take World Cup stuff where they just literally they're away from the cup and they'll just roll the ball away.
You know what? I think it's one of those things. If it's a time wasting thing in the sense that you're up and stuff, I think you got to give that a yellow. But in that,
it's just like a shout. It's just like
when it's the 4th minute, I don't know. I think it takes a bit of that out of the game.
It takes the Prem out of the Prem.
The Prem has always been about a bit of that shithousery. A bit of those late challenges. Yeah. Defenders
and I guess the crowd, you love it because he gets the bloody turns.
I don't want to say it, but it feels like the Prem's got a little bit weak.
Well,
it's had to happen.
Look, it won't be. It won't be long. We saw it last night, but I think we've seen it in the AFL this year regarding all the dangerous tackles and stuff. It'll be 2 or 3 weeks, and this will be out of the game. We'll see it once or twice. In a couple of weeks, we'll only see a handful more.
The players will adjust.
A handful more times for the rest of the season. Because the players will adjust, and they'll realise Trent got away with one last night.
So he rode his luck.
So I mean, you saw Joe Gomez warming up.
Straight away
at the 5th minute.
But it really to your point for me because you see the footage of him throwing the ball, but then that. I hate the assistant manager from Newcastle. He annoys me.
Yeah,
you see everyone just like this every time someone throws the ball away.
Have you seen the edit? Have you seen? You know that photo's edited? Yeah.
Is it?
It's not real. That photo's not real. Of Klopp doing it. It's not real. It's so
But Klopp was so animated. He was up for this game.
Yeah, he's
you could tell though both teams
Klopp
wanted
is such
that.
He's actually a nutcase.
But really, if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think Liverpool deserve anything from that game.
I don't think anyone disagrees. I think Liverpool got away.
They should have been 2-3 up. Almiron.
Almiron was nuts.
Here's my point. This is
twice.
If this wasn't Liverpool, and this was West Ham, everyone would be like, oh, that's a great West Ham performance. That's world class from West Ham. It's because it's Liverpool, and we're so used for them to just Hendo, Fabinho, here's Thiago, and pass the ball around. It's not that sort of team anymore. They're going to be good off the counter, playing these Hollywood passes.
I just think they got lucky. I think they got lucky that Trent. If Trent,
I think that they nailed it to a T last night. I think they nailed
it.
Once the red card went,
two chances.
They
should have had 2 red cards and they could have been 3-0
down. And they should have been 3-0 down.
I don't know.
So you think all those chances, probably the first 70 minutes of the game, they didn't touch the ball.
The Almiron post, that's just Almiron inability to finish. That's not a world class winger. That's just not him being a world class player. That's the difference in quality.
I'm actually going to go against you there, and I'll say Almiron, how he played last year, I thought that was just a good patch of form. He's backing it up, and I'm not saying he's a world class winger, but he's seriously good. And I'll tell you right now,
but Darwin finished it. So
Gordon right now is a top 5 player in the league. In current form, he's not in terms of...
He was playing on Trent on a yellow.
It's been 3 games. They barely had a shot last week.
He didn't just have Trent on a yellow. Trent didn't know what to do.
Yeah, but Trent doesn't know what to do. He conceded to Bournemouth.
But this is why we always said Trent shouldn't play right back. Keep Trent in the midfield because he's so defensively frail.
Even the goal, it was his miscontrol.
Oh, the goal was horrible. Yeah, okay. The goal.
What I'm saying is
the goal was 100% his fault.
There is not. I reckon if you repeated that game 10 times with the exact same chances, Newcastle would go up 3-0.
Yeah, but that always happens.
I think you're right in the sense. I honestly think it's a 1 in 20 win because 10 times lucky. Darwin doesn't even put those goals away.
You look at West Ham, and West Ham, you go, okay, that was potent. They got in. That was it. They sat. Liverpool Brighton didn't have the chances, but
Liverpool literally were playing long balls. Oh, Andy Robertson picking the ball up and playing a long ball, and hoping it would just land. Like that, they were sitting so deep. It was the exact same performance of West Ham.
So you think Darwin does that as well? He's going to score both of those chances.
Obviously, compared to last year, you don't expect it. But Darwin as a striker,
Haaland would probably not score both of those chances every time.
It was a great individual performance. It was a great individual.
It was 1-1 with a goal on an angle with the right foot. It's his right-footed side.
I don't think.
Oh no! Last year he misses both of those.
Oh no! I'm saying as Darwin is as the striker, I'd expect him to put them in the back of the net.
Yeah. One of them.
His Champions League last year, 4 goals in 8 games.
Benzema would not have put both of those in the back of the net every time.
Regardless, though, it's like I think we can all agree that I think we would all agree that at least half the time Newcastle will win that game. But I would say 9 out of 10 times.
They shot themselves in the foot.
But I can appreciate what you're saying in the sense that
Botman's mistake leads to the goal.
Capitalised on that and played it well. Yeah,
the only goal Newcastle scored was because Liverpool shot themselves in the foot. Botman shot themselves in the foot. Almiron killed them because he missed 2 gettable chances. Alisson's save was world class.
The way I look at Almiron's misses though is more great individual performance. He just couldn't finish it off rather than gettable chances. I think he sort of made nothing out of something. Something out of nothing.
Yeah. Well, Darwin Nunes made that and he scored.
Nothing out of something.
I wouldn't say he made something out of nothing. Both balls where he was through on goal.
Now, to be fair,
now you just proved your own point.
To be fair, they were low XG shots.
But they're still lower. Yeah, okay.
But
that's not creating. Him finishing something out of nothing isn't creating something out of nothing.
I'm talking about just
taking
finishing
a half
the
chance.
I'm saying finishing the chance.
Yeah, he was.
Liverpool finished their chances. Newcastle didn't.
That's being potent. We're talking about Almiron had the ball in the corner. Halfway down the pitch, and he's gone taking 3 players on.
And McAllister was as good. I liked McAllister's performance last night. I think the substitutes for Liverpool was good. Soboslai was good as well. I think once the subs came on, they were the better team.
Do you know how to say his name?
No, I'm not saying it.
The magic K that comes in. We can agree or disagree, but I think Liverpool played the game to a T. You go away to Newcastle, I'd be over the moon if Manchester United play like that. Sit in, take all the pressure. Bang, goal. That's how you do it. Salah really...
I'll tell you why I wouldn't be happy playing like that if I was Man United.
Because we conceded 5 by the time they would have...
No, not because of that. It just shows there's no progress. And I think that's the whole thing.
I agree. I actually agree, to be honest. Because Liverpool will not progress far in the league if they have to win like that.
But it's everyone said it. KDB was on Sky Sports the other day saying it's the hardest place to play right now.
It feels like do you know what it feels like?
Yeah, anyways, but he's slandering the Emirates.
I
was embarrassed.
To me, it feels like it's Ollie ball when, we're going to play one way, and then we're going to go, okay, now we're going to versus Liverpool and Man City away from home, actually at home as well, and now we're going to play 5 at the back.
I know.
Not a good team changes formation for a good team.
They didn't change, mate. They just played this. They changed their style because they had 10 men. They had 10 men. They had their captain taken off. Their right back was yellow carded. You've got Endo making his debut in the Prem in the midfield, and you win 2-1 away at the hardest place to play, apparently in world football. Mate,
that's a bit of a push.
KDB, the best midfielder in the world, said it.
Well, he didn't say well, but he said Premier League.
Was it Premier League? Oh, I think
but harder than Anfield. Yeah. Anfield is often regarded as the hardest place in the world.
And he put over Anfield. So I'm just saying they nailed it and no wonder Klopp was up for it because that's a big win for them. They're back on track again.
Fair enough.
Winners and losers from this week. I don't know if you guys got it in your head. You go.
I'll go first.
Winners for me: West Ham, top of the league. Once they won their game.
No, there's a mod.
we can keep it the same. Like Bowen nailed it. Souček's nailing his performances. Well, Prowse for me is right now the best signing currently for the Prem.
Yeah.
And Antonio, like we said, is back to his COVID season performances. So Moyes has nailed his style of football with the players he's brought in. So I think for where we had him, I think they're doing much. When we had him, much.
I've got mine.
Better than go with.
You got you go.
Okay, my winner is Darwin Nunes.
Bang on.
Because I think, he kind of he basically just did what everyone was slandering him for last year. Finished chances, finished hard chances, and kind of shut the critics up straight away. And then I had nothing too crazy there. I think he just had a great game.
Yeah.
And my losers are Sheffield because, as we said, don't have to say too much here. In those sort of game scenarios where they're not creating much, 85th minute 1-1, they have to capitalise on that. And when you end up losing that, I struggle to see Sheffield gaining points this year. Put it like that.
I want to say my winners is West Ham as well.
Yeah.
Just because
boring.
I've been on them. Actually going to go into more depth. I'll say the winner there is my prediction on West Ham.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's good.
You've nailed that one. You have that over us all year.
And what's your loser?
My loser is the 3 teams promoted. I just,
I get
now you're poor. Now it's poor. You've stolen his and you've basically stolen mine.
How have I stolen yours? No, I'm joking. It's already looking like two are nearly guaranteed going down.
Yeah.
And
the thirds.
No. I don't think Burnley necessarily are going down, but they're definitely falling down the ladder than what everyone expected.
It feels much worse, these 3, than as we said before.
Yeah.
Leeds, Southampton,
Leicester. If Burnley's still in this position match week 6, I'd probably be prepared to say that all 3 are going to go down.
Yeah.
But I'm not at that stage yet.
To finish off, my loser, I've got Newcastle having a man advantage for 60 minutes and not winning that game. And apparently, this whole crowd right behind them, they want to be this top 4 team. You've got to capitalise on a man advantage.
My predictions, thank God, because they were looking good. Newcastle, they were looking good.
They were looking good. That wraps us up for this week. Probably not as many exciting games the week before. Yeah. Obviously, we've got the watch along this Sunday, not Saturday.
One more week till the
international break.
Yeah, till the international break.
Last week.
Last week we got, so you got Arsenal, United.
Watch along,
that's going to be a bit of controversy going on. 2 United fans with an Arsenal fan.
We might have to invite another Arsenal fan or something just to fit him into it.
Yeah.
You might have to just make it a bit more exciting. Thanks, guys, for having a watch with us, listening to us. Please remember to like, subscribe, all those good things, share with mates, and we'll see you next week for another Away Days episode. See you then.